Parliamentary Union and member of Mexico's Parliament. Gabriela Cuevas Pero.
Hello, my name is Aidan from Mexico, and this is for Mrs. Cuevas. I'm one of the 5 summer solution winners, and as you said, it is difficult to make changes to policies. Welcome to it, or politics. And we hope that we've created a momentum that will actually create a change. But I wanted to know, as the UN or people in power that can amplify our voices, what are the steps or initiatives that you're having to support social enterprise in a very competitive market where it's difficult to get access? Thank you.
Well, I have 2 hats to answer these questions. So, yes, as a Mexican congresswoman, we are developing, and I started also when I was in the Senate just before going to Congress now, we are developing a set of legislation that is going precisely into the direction that Madam Deputy Secretary General was saying. Yes, all countries, or almost all countries, agreed on the Paris Agreement. Now we need to go for implementation. That means how we are going to first ratify all these instruments. We did that in Mexico super fast. But then how we are going to translate all those international commitments into national and local realities. And that's why parliamentarians are so important. We already did that in Mexico with our climate change legislation. I believe that we have some challenges still when it comes to budget allocation, with oversight, with a closer relationship with the government, particularly into energy policies. But now what we are moving forward is how to create precisely this new environment for social enterprises. I believe that's not only a new trend, but it's a must. And about the Interparliamentary Union, well, we're again following also these processes in terms of how to raise awareness with all the parliaments and planet. Second, we are trying to build a step-by-step guidance in terms of how to translate the Paris Agreement into very concrete pieces of legislation that could be useful for all the countries. We have every year a meeting, a parliamentary event related to COP, and that is becoming very, very much useful. And thanks also to UN, because we're organizing that very closely. We are giving the parliamentarians, and maybe we should do something here like that, homework. It is not about traveling as parliamentarians and having a very interesting meeting as we're doing now. It's about how are you going to behave, how are you going to change your national reality. The only way to change the planet is changing our own communities.
Thank you. We have a question on the balcony.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mayapin Yutmon. I come from Myanmar. I'm an Indigenous Youth Caucus representative here. For youths, as you all know, let me first thank to this intergenerational town hall dialogue, because as Indigenous peoples, we always believe in intergenerational cooperation, intergenerational learning, and intergenerational transfer of the knowledges that we have. As youths, here today, 500 youths out of around 8,000 youths who applied for this summit were selected. And out of those youths, only 100 were funded by the UN. So where is our really commitment for the youths? And the second point is, we always talk about youths, we always encourage youths to engage more, but it's always financial restrictions that youths always have. But then, to this event, 5 friends of ours, 5 Indigenous youth representatives who were fully funded by the UN were denied their visa. And they failed to attend this event. So here I have a question. in terms of commitment, in terms of financially, and in terms of arrangement to the states. My question goes to the Madam Deputy Secretary General and also to the member state leaders. What kind of necessary engagement or arrangements were made, and what kind of discussions you had in order that this Climate Youth Summit is successful? And I would like to hear more about your commitments. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for those questions. Always good to have an opportunity to clarify. Well, the 100 is certainly not enough, but it was better than nothing before. So I think it's really important for us to start those steps and demand more, because that's what's needed. It's the same as the climate action we're looking for. There are climate actions that are happening around the world, but they're nowhere near good enough. One of the things that the SG has done in the UN is to say that both gender parity and youth in the right places in terms of employment, our engagement, and what we do, not just in New York, but in all our countries, should increase. And it has started. What we did for this, I mean, we had, yes, 100 green tickets, but what we had done was to encourage every single member state to have youth in their delegations. That also has not happened as well as before. We have 193 delegations, and we hope that we will see all of them carry youth in. We can make those recommendations, but it is for member states to take them up. Our agencies, funds and programs have also sponsored youth that maybe we don't know about here. I mean, how many by UNICEF, by UNDP, by a number of agencies we have had. Also, the Youth Envoy's Office has done the same. So again, we are far short of where we should be, but efforts have been made, and you are here. And in terms of the visas, there were 5 that we didn't get. I think maybe about 9 that we didn't get in the end. But quite frankly, there were over 100 across that weren't there before. Our efforts together with our country offices, with the Youth Envoy's Office, with our member states, managed to reduce that. Not enough. There should be no one left behind. Every visa should have been had. But that's what we continue to do. In the UN, there is a reality and there is an aspiration. And our job here is to sell the hope to close that gap. And that's exactly what we're trying to do day in, day out. That's what we exist for, to close that gap between the reality and the aspiration.
It's really encouraging to see how many thoughtful questions you all have. Unfortunately, we only have time for one more. This question is in Spanish, so I encourage you to put your headsets on.
Okay, hi everyone. Bueno, soy Felipe Hernández de Chile y le hago esta pregunta a la señora Michelle Bachelet, alta comisionada de los derechos humanos y expresidenta de mi país. Bueno, es que en Latinoamérica existe un gran problema que es obviamente de crisis climática y de justicia climática también, al menos partiendo por mi casa, que es Chile. En mi país se vulneran los derechos humanos constantemente. Allí existen zonas de sacrificio, que son pueblos y ciudades en donde la gente muere por contaminación de las termoeléctricas a carbón que aún no cierran. Estas llevan más de 10 años matando a nuestra gente. Por otro lado, más de la mitad de los activistas medioambientales asesinados cada año son en Latinoamérica, algunos incluso por el mismo Estado. Entonces la pregunta es, ¿qué rol va a tomar usted como alta comisionada de los derechos humanos y como expresidenta de mi país para que dejen de vulnerar a estos países subdesarrollados de Latinoamérica? Específicamente, ¿tomará usted justicia para los activistas asesinados en Colombia y en Chile y en toda Latinoamérica y presionará para que en Chile se cierren las termoeléctricas de carbón de aquí a 2030? Eso, muchas gracias por escuchar.
Spanish or English? What do you think? Spanish. Okay, I'll do it Spanish. So, gracias por tu pregunta. Efectivamente, la preocupación grande que nosotros tenemos es por el acoso a los defensores de los derechos humanos en general, y dentro de los defensores de los derechos humanos, a los defensores de los derechos ambientales, a los defensores de los derechos de la propiedad de los pueblos indígenas, a los defensores de los derechos de las mujeres, a los defensores de los derechos de la comunidad LGTBI, a los defensores de distintos tipos de derechos que los estados muchas veces vulneran, o compañías, como el caso de Berta Cáceres, ¿verdad?, gran defensora por los derechos de Honduras, que fuera asesinada por luchar por su tierra, por sus derechos de agua, por evitar ciertos proyectos. Es tarea tanto de mi oficina, del Alto Comisionado de las Naciones Unidas de Derechos Humanos, como de UNESCO, por ejemplo, el proteger a los periodistas, que también son capaces de informar a la población de las cosas que están pasando, de las violaciones que existen de los derechos humanos, o de situaciones de corrupción o de otro tipo de situaciones. Nosotros tenemos una de nuestras prioridades, es la defensoría de los defensores de derechos humanos, que lo que hacemos es trabajar con los gobiernos. Primero que nada, tenemos un monitoreo constante de todo defensor de derechos ambientales o de otros derechos humanos, muchas veces de más de uno a la vez, y reportamos permanentemente, lo denunciamos públicamente, discutimos con los gobiernos para ver cuáles son las medidas que se están tomando para justamente evitar que este tipo de cosas siga pasando. Y por otro lado, evaluamos y trabajamos con gobiernos cuando ellos ya tienen mecanismos de protección, para ver si esos mecanismos de protección son suficientes o no. Y en el caso de México, por ejemplo, aquí está la diputada Cueva, justamente nosotros trabajamos con ellos porque ellos tienen un mecanismo de protección, pero pese a eso ha habido fallecimiento de periodistas, defensores de derechos humanos, y mi oficina en México ha hecho un informe con tantas recomendaciones para que puedan seguir el gobierno y mejorar su sistema. Entonces nosotros como oficina levantamos la voz. Hemos hecho declaraciones públicas cuando ha habido asesinatos de líderes indígenas, pero que están luchando por sus tierras indígenas, pero además por temas medioambientales en distintas partes del país, y seguiremos acompañando esos procesos, asegurando de que por un lado haya justicia, que los responsables tengan que presentarse ante la justicia y que esas familias puedan tener la reparación y el apoyo que se merecen. Es la tarea que tenemos como oficina y sin duda lo seguiremos haciendo. Muchas gracias.
So if we all can just take a minute to give a round of applause to you all for your thoughtful questions, and to all of our panelists and leaders for your insight.